Welcome, horror fans. Imagine if the only place you ever felt safe, your home, had a secret so evil it would kill you. Tonight, I'm telling you a true story from a town in Wisconsin that will make you lock your doors twice. This isn't a tale. It's real, it's scary, and it's going to haunt you. Click subscribe, grab something to hold on to, and let's dive in. It's 2022, and the Larson family's living in a quiet suburb of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Picture a street lined with maple trees, kids on bikes, houses with neat lawns. The Larsons, Mike, Jenna, and their 15-year-old daughter, Sophie, are the kind of family you'd wave to at a barbecue. Mike is a high school math teacher. Jenna works part-time as a baker in a bakery, and Sophie is a normal teenager, stuck to her phone and her soccer team. They've been living in their 5-year-old split-level home, which they did themselves. It has a huge backyard, a creaky staircase, and a basement that Mike's always meaning to organize. Life is fine, normal, until it isn't. It starts in the autumn, around late September, when the air is crisp and the leaves turn color. Jenna's rolling out apple pie dough in the kitchen when she hears a thud in the basement. Not really loud, but enough to cause her to stop. She believes it's the cat, Muffin, knocking over something. "Muffin, you little pest," she says, wiping flour from her hands. She opens the basement door, turns on the light switch, and looks down. The bulb's dim, casting long shadows, but it's all where it's supposed to be. Just some boxes, old furniture, Mike's dust-encrusted golf clubs. Muffin slept through upstairs, curled up on the couch. Jenna shrugs and shuts the door, going back to her pies. But later in bed, she can't help thinking the thud hadn't been an accident. It had sounded deliberate. Mike waves it off when she tells him so. Old houses, babe. They creak. He's the down-to-earth kind who can stop leaks and mow the grass without saying a word. But Sophie's fascinated. "Bang or crash?" she asks at breakfast, her hazel eyes glinting. Jenna hesitates. More of a thud. Like, heavy, you know. Sophie smiles, scrolling on TikTok. Maybe it's a ghost. Spooky basement vibe. Mike rolls his eyes. "Too much ghost already, Soph. It's the furnace, maybe." They laugh, but Jenna's smile doesn't reach her eyes. A few nights later, Sophie's at home in her bedroom, texting with her friend Mia about a soccer game. When she hears it, another bang from downstairs. Her bedroom's right over the basement, and the sound carries through the floor. She stands frozen, phone vibrating in her hand. It isn't a thud this time either. There's a gentle scrape, as if whatever it is being dragged. Her heart races, but she's not a kid anymore, not scared of monsters under her bed. She crawls to the vent in her floor, the one that leads downstairs to the basement, and waits, holding her breath. Nothing. The hum of the fridge downstairs. She texts Mia. "Odd noise in the house. Kinda spooky." Mia sends a ghost emoji, and Sophie laughs, but she double-checks her window lock before going to bed. The creaking persists, always in the evening, always in the basement. Mike goes to check one evening, flashlight in hand, complaining about damn mice. He finds nothing. No mice, no leaks, no reason. The basement cold, cluttered with garbage. Christmas tinsel, Sophie's broken bike, a smashed mirror Jenna has been meaning to dispose of. He feels as though the air is heavy, that it is settling on his chest, but he blames it on dust. "All clear," he reassures Jenna, although he's jumpy, his own surety shaken. Jenna starts locking the basement door, a movement she doesn't understand. "Just feels safer," she says, not looking up at Mike. Sophie hears something else first. She's doing homework on the kitchen table, and she hears a whisper, a light, as if it's on the other side of the walls. "Sophie." Her name, softly uttered but very distinct, and it has this strange echoing sound. She puts down her pencil, her belly twisting. The house is empty. Mike's at a parent-teacher conference. Jenna's at the bakery. She yells out, "Mom!" There's silence. The whisper comes back at the door to the basement. "Sophie!" She sprints upstairs to her bedroom, locks the door, and calls Jenna, shaking. "Mom, someone's in the house!" Jenna rushes home, discovers Sophie white-faced and shaking. They go through every room, but nobody's there. The basement door still locked, the key untouched. Jenna hugs Sophie tightly. "Maybe it was the TV, sweetie." But the TV's off, and they both know that. Mike's skeptical when they tell him, "You're freaking each other out. Houses don't whisper." But he's rattled, especially when Sophie insists it knew her name. He checks the basement again, this time with a crowbar, half expecting a squatter. Nothing. Just that same heavy air, thicker now, like it's clinging to him. He notices something odd, a faint scratch on the concrete floor, long and jagged, like someone dragged a nail. It hadn't been there before. He doesn't tell Jenna or Sophie, not wanting to scare them, but starts sleeping with a baseball bat in easy reach of the bed. The family is tight as a drum. Sophie's withdrawn, missing soccer practice. Her phone left forlorn. Jenna's nervous burning pies at work, shaking hands. Mike's irritable, snapping at students for no reason. They don't talk about it, but they're all waiting for the noises, dreading the darkness. The whispers go on, always at odd times, always with Sophie's name. She doesn't sleep in her bedroom, sleeping on the couch with Muffin instead, the TV on low to soothe her. One night, Jenna wakes to find Sophie sitting in front of the basement door, staring. "It called my name again," she whispers. Jenna takes her close, her own heart pounding. "It's okay, baby. It's just the house." But she doesn't believe it. Things worsen. One evening, Mike working on papers when the electricity fails. The lights dim, then flash back on, but the basement door rattles as though someone is rattling it on the other side. He reaches for the bat, shouting, "Who's there?" Jenna and Sophie burst in, white-faced as the rattling stops. Mike unlocks the basement door, bat in hand, and glances down. Dark basement, bulb blown. His flashlight catches up with the scratch on the floor. It's now deeper, longer, as though it's traveling. "Wait here," he tells Jenna, but she hugs his arm. "Don't go down, Mike." He pushes her aside, curious, and descends, the creaking stairs protesting beneath his weight. Cold air, misty breath. He sweeps the flash, his heart racing, but it's only boxes, shadows, that god-awful mirror. Then he hears it, a low, behind him laugh. He turns, swinging his bat, but there's nobody there. The laugh echoes out, dying in the walls. He dashes upstairs, slams the door, and locks it, his hands shaking so hard he drops the key. They hire a locksmith the next day, put a deadbolt on the basement door. The man, a middle-aged fellow named Ray, squirms when they discuss the noises. "This house, it has a history," he mutters, tightening a screw. Jenna presses him. "What kind of history?" Ray hesitates. "In the 90s, there was a family that resided here. Had a daughter, a girl. She disappeared. Police never located her. They said she got lost in the woods, but others attested that she never set foot outside the house." Mike rolls his eyes. "You're saying our basement's haunted?" Ray shrugs, putting away his tools. "I'm saying you need to watch out. Some houses don't let go." Sophie overheard and went ballistic. "Mom, we have to move." Jenna tries to calm her down, but she's shaken too. They spend the night in a motel, the first time they've left the house in weeks. It's a relief to have no noises, no whispers, only the hum of the AC at the motel. But Sophie is restless, scrolling through her phone, and reads an old news story about their house. A 14-year-old girl named Emily Carter went missing from the property in 1994. Her parents said she'd been hearing voices saying her name coming from the basement. The case was cold, no body, no leads. Sophie drags Mike and Jenna along with her, shaking. "This is happening to us. It's the same thing." Mike is enraged, calls it a coincidence, but Jenna says nothing, her head racing. They leave the next morning, scared to go home. At the house, it's even worse. The atmosphere is thick, as if weighing down on their skin. Muffin won't go near the basement door, hissing when they pass by it. The whispers get louder, not just Sophie's name anymore. Mike hears his, Jenna hers, always from the basement, always at night. One evening, Sophie, alone, drawing to calm herself, hears something different. Sobbing, a childlike whimpering from the vent. She kneels ear to the grate, and it's unmistakable. A girl crying, saying, "Help me." Sophie's frozen, tears streaming down her face. She runs to Jenna, chattering about the crying, and Jenna listens at the vent. She hears it too, soft but true. "Mike!" she shouts, and he's there, face white. They don't know what to do. Call the police? A priest? It's too much, too real. Mike's had enough. He grabs a sledgehammer from the garage, determined to end this. "I'm tearing that damn basement apart," he says, voice shaking with rage and fear. Jenna begs him not to, but he's past listening. Sophie's sobbing, clutching Muffin as Mike smashes the deadbolt and storms downstairs. The air's so cold it burns, the shadows twisting in his flashlight's beam. He strikes the sledgehammer against the concrete floor, where the scratch is, with each blow sounding like a gunshot. The floor splits, and dirt beneath is exposed, and a stench hits him, sickly sweet, rotten. He keeps swinging, driven by desperation, until he gets something. Fabric, faded, buried in the ground. He lets go of the hammer, hands trembling, and pulls it out. A stained, torn child's dress with a small, rusted locket stuck in it. In the locket, a photo of a girl smiling, maybe 14. Mike's stomach lurches. It's Emily, it has to be. He goes stumbling up the stairs, the dress held in his hand, and extends it to Jenna. She gasps, stepping back, as Sophie cries out, "That's her! That's the girl!" The weeping begins again, louder from the vent, the walls everywhere. "Help me! Help me!" Mike's shaking, muttering, "We have to call someone," but the phone dead, no dial tone, no signal. The lights flash, the house creaking as if it's alive. Jenna drags Sophie toward the front door, but it won't open, the lock jammed. The crying turns to laughter, high and shrill from the basement. Mike grabs the bat, shouting, "Well, stay behind me!" They huddle in the living room, the laughter growing, the air heavy with it so they can scarcely breathe. And then, all of a sudden, silence. The lights come on again, the door creaks open. They scramble, crowding into the car, Muffin in Sophie's arms. Mike peels out, the house receding in the rearview mirror. They don't slow down until they're at a police station, gasping, talking about the dress, the locket, the voices. The police don't believe them, but one of the detectives, a middle-aged woman named Harris, listens to them. She takes the dress, the locket, and says she'll look into it. The Larsons stay overnight at Jenna's sister's apartment, too afraid to go home. Harris calls them 1 week later. The locket's confirmed. It was Emily Carter's, who disappeared in '94. They're digging up the basement, found more. Bones, tiny, human. The case is reopened, but no one's discussing what killed her or why the house held her for so long. The Larsons don't return. They sell the house, move to Minneapolis, try to move on. Sophie's in therapy, sketching the same girl's face over and over again. Jenna prays every night, her faith shattered. Mike's isolated, haunted, the bat still resting on his bedside table. The house sits empty for sale, but no one stays long. Neighbors say they hear crying at night, see shadows in the windows, undefined. Some swear the basement door opens on its own, even when locked, undefined. Here's the twist. A year later, Sophie gets a package, no return address. Undefined, inside is her sketchbook, the one she left behind. Undefined, every page is filled with the same drawing. Emily's face, but her eyes are black, her smile wrong. Behind, hidden, is a note in handwriting childish. You heard me. Sophie burns it, but still she hears the whispers far away at night. Undefined Matt told me this story last summer, his voice low, as if he did not want the house to hear him. For each, I believed him. If this story gave you chills, like this video and share it with your friends. Ever lived in a house that felt strange? Or experienced something similar from a friend or family member? Leave it in the comments. I need to know. Subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss the next one. Stay safe out there, and maybe check your basement tonight.